Tales of Wedding Rings Season 2. Yep, I'm gonna be finally talking about this one as the final episode just dropped as of me recording this video. And honestly, realistically, a lot of what I've held on to, what I've already said when talking about this show briefly a few times now, up until this point, isn't really gonna change much. So again, Tales of Wedding Rings, if you haven't known about this show already, I already explained the synopsis, so I'm not gonna regurgitate what I've said here. But I gotta say, Tales of Wedding Rings Season 2 was at one point during the time when this came out, was supposed to make it to my best trash anime of 2025 this year. And don't get me wrong, the first season of Tales of Wedding Rings was pretty good, it was solid. There were some moments where I really was like holding my reservations back, just hoping and praying that it's gonna get better, that maybe it's going to like develop character wise, story wise. And season two, we actually got a much stronger story, albeit it's like little sprinkly tidbits of lore added into it, where we're finally getting to know a little bit of some of the main waifus that were a key role in the first season. Case in point, getting to know more of Haruto and Nefertiti's relationship, to Haruto and Amber's relationship, and Amber's origins as one of the main waifus per se. And then, of course, in this second season, it really emphasizes Haruto and Crystal's like super close bond towards one another and how they play a really big role into this said story. And again, I gotta say, it's really cute. It's really novel. Um, all I have to really say about the show is, again, there really isn't a lot I can really break down because a lot of what I said and some of the complaints I've also mentioned really does unfortunately carry over from this first season going to the second season. And that is, for starters, the animation quality. The animation quality by no means is terrible, but with the really muted dark color schemes where you're supposed to have like these bright colors, but then you're always like in the muted background all the time, it leaves a lot to be desired, and it makes you not want to get invested in the show, at least for someone who's like not familiar with the show whatsoever. Another thing too is the music, the theme songs of the show. It's cute, it's wholesome, but it does get really cliche after a while, and it doesn't feel like this is a show that you can really bump your head to and fist bump and cheer for, right? And then, of course, the story. The story itself is about as meh as it gets, where it's about a dude who, after finding out that he's the chosen one with the wedding rings, he now has to save the world from the abyss and stop the abyss king from covering the world in the abyss into nothingness. And with the power of his waifus, the power of friendship, and the power of light, he's gonna bash the abyss king to the shadow realm and save the world. And unironically, I don't know if this is a spoiler at this point, but season two is actually the final season of Tales of Wedding Ring because they actually wrapped up this entire story, what have you, in a nutshell. And I gotta say, while I do understand that this manga series originally when this was adapted is really relatively super short, I do just wish they fleshed out a lot of like the world at large, the characters at large, much more. Because while we did get to know a lot of the five main waifus here and there, I do really wish that one of the newest characters in the second season, Morion, who is the sister of Crystal, I really wish we got more out of her than initially when we were first introduced to her, in a way. Also, I think that some of the relationships with Haruto and some of the waifus could have been really fleshed out a little bit more because, unfortunately, some of these waifus from the first season really had some forethought, some care at least put into it. In the second season, I don't see a lot of forethought put into these characters outside of Crystal and Haruto being like the main novelty couple you have to focus on. And again, there's not really a whole lot to say, even though there are some really good fan service moments where I swear to God, I'm not making this shit up. Every episode, you're gonna be hit with titties and ass and just like a naked fan service scene galore. Even like during the moments where it's like really depressing, surprisingly, there's always a scene where they're just naked. It's not bad, but then it just kind of takes away the whole experience, like when you're watching the show. So again, not a whole lot to say about this. The second season is okay, it's fine, but this wasn't like a mind blowing I'm all excited. I'm really ready to like talk about this by the end of the year type of show. It's more like it's okay. It's passable. And because of that feeling and how I feel about this 13 episodes in, I'm honestly just feeling like a late to decent 5 on this thing. It's good. It's decent. I think that if you want to check it out for like a casual watch experience and you want to just watch some fan service galore, this show is definitely for you. But if you're just here just to pay attention to the story, the plot itself, you're not gonna get a lot of bang for your buck for the show at the end of the day. And yeah, just wanted to simply quickly talk about this second season of Tales of White Ring. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Later.